How's it going? It's Bryan Soscia, another WWE exclusive. As always, we have him for you. And The Miz on the line. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
I don't know. You tell me what's up, Miz. How about it? Marine 3 coming out. You're like a big movie star now. How's it going to be different, though? You know, from Marine 1 and 2. What are the changes?
Well, Marine 1 and 2 were very successful, very successful movies. You know, Ted DiBiase Jr. and John Cena did a terrific job. This one, I feel, is different because Scott Weiper, the director, wanted it to be more raw and real and gritty. And the way he basically does it is the Marine actually comes home, and you know he's not adapting well to normalcy. You know, he's so used to being out there and being in battle and being at war that when he comes home, he's very overprotective with his sisters. He's butting heads with his friends, and you know the Marine just really isn't shining. And then you know one of his sisters witnesses a murder, and then gets kidnapped by this terrorist militia group, and they end up being a bunch of extremists. And once that happens, you know, Jake kind of goes into that mode. And does he save the day? I guess we'll have to get the movie to find out.
A good teaser. Now, Mitch, you talk about the Marine being away from home, you know, doing his service and then coming back home and not being able to readjust. I know you're on the road a lot, man. You're always out. You're, you know, doing your thing, traveling, hitting the ring all the time. Is that hard for you when you get home to actually relax?
When do I ever get to go home, to be completely honest with you? I mean, you know, it's, you know, whenever I get home, I maybe have one day, like, for instance, this week, I'll go to here. Right now I'm in Buffalo. I go to Albany tomorrow. I go to New York City on Wednesday. Thursday I go to L.A., which is my home. And then Friday I'm back out to Colorado for more WWE live events. So I really you don't really get much time to rest in the WWE, but that's what you sign up for, you know? I want to be performing in front of those thousands of people and entertaining them each and every day. So WWE allows me that opportunity.
Now, Miz, and you do a great job with it, definitely, but I look at your career, and a lot of people know that you started with the reality TV, Real World. That's where you really started, you know, people started knowing who you were and stuff. What show, was it tough enough maybe, do you think it would be hardest to be friendly with the contestants because you're really, really competing?
No, you know, whenever you're on the challenges or with Real World, or if you're on the Tough Enough challenge, you always make friends with people because, you know, it's you know, I don't know. I'm one of those people that I'm competitive, but I don't need to hate you in order to be competitive. You know, I can be friends with a person that I compete with. And as a matter of fact, if I'm friends with you, I want to beat you even more just so I can brag and boast about it.
That's so true. So you're telling me that Daniel, the failed experiment pewter, when you went to that Dixie dogfight match with him, you were friends with him going in?
Yeah, I was fine with him, but once you get in that ring and you hear a ding, 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 you know, we're boxing. I'm gonna rearrange your face.
I love it. Good. And, you know, we saw that the greatness shined over, again, Daniel Pewter at that point. The wrong decision was made, and now we see you doing huge. You're starring in movies. You're winning titles. And, you know, I look back on your career, and I've seen you've done tag team wrestling. Do you miss that at all, the tag team wrestling, like every now and then? Or you like the spotlight being on you?
I love tag team wrestling. Growing up as a kid, you know, I loved tag teams like the Rockers and Demolition and Legion of Doom. And I was just a huge fan of tag team. And, you know, I've gotten the opportunity to be a 4-time tag team champion, and I've been very successful with it. So yeah, I do miss you know, tag team wrestling from time to time, but I also love being a singles wrestler. You know, in the WWE, whenever you can have the spotlight only on you, guess what? That's the better.
Talk about the spotlight being on you. WrestleMania is coming up, you know, in New Jersey. You're going to pay-per-views. I notice you wear that leather, like, I guess it's leather ring jacket, normally only at the bigger events and pay-per-views. Am I correct in saying that?
You are absolutely correct. I figure if you're going to pay for a pay-per-view, you get to pay to see the good old leather jacket.
Yeah, pay to see the Miz in leather. It sounds good. Speaking of pay-per-view, WrestleMania, that's coming to New Jersey April 7th. So, you know, it could be kind of cold, though, in Jersey April 7th. What's the locker room saying? You guys nervous? You're going to be freezing out there?
I'm wearing a turtleneck. I'm wearing a turtleneck out to the ring. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, you know, everyone's nervous. I mean, you could have snow at WrestleMania.
That's crazy. Sheamus said he was going to have a giant Gonzalez airbrush suit.
That might be the best bet. That might be the smartest thing you possibly could have. I might just wear my winter coat there. Just wrestle in that.
I want to talk a little more about your ring gear, though. You got the leather jackets, and I noticed you used to wear those shorts back in the day, and then you decided to change the ring attire. Was that your idea? Did you say, I just need to freshen up, or what was the reason you changed your ring attire?
It was like a mutual kind of idea. I got fired from the WWE by Jeremy Piven because he was the guest host. and then the next week, I was in a contract on a pole match where I came back as the Calgary Kid, and I wore trunks because I didn't want anyone to know that it was me, and I was in a mask. And so you couldn't really tell it was me, and plus I'd never wore trunks before. And once I saw myself in trunks, I was like, you know what? It looks more professional. It looks, less hokey and less gimmicky. And I think people will take me more seriously if I wear trunks. And so that's kind of where the change happened.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. You talk about people taking you seriously. I've seen you, at least on television, a couple weeks ago, you were on TV with Flair. And I wonder, when you work with those legends of the wrestling industry, what goes through your mind? And is there any advice, like one particular person that you might look up to as a mentor?
You look at the Ric Flairs, and growing up watching him, and he's just a living legend, a two-time Hall of Famer, and it was incredible, even being in the ring with someone like Ric Flair, and then as well as you look at The Rock. Rock was one of the reasons why I wanted to become a WWE superstar, and I mean, there's just so much talent in the WWE today with the CM Punks, the John Cenas, that are just doing incredible jobs. And it's incredible. Like, this is a great time in the WWE.
But as far as advice, I mean, have you ever gotten any from the guys that have come back to help? Who do you go to?
Yeah, I mean, I always look to advice from the Ric Flairs, from the Triple H's, from the Shawn Michaels, and just being in the ring with some superstars makes you a better superstar. I mean, whenever you're in the ring with a John Cena, a superstar of that magnitude, it really ups your game and elevates you, as well as like the CM Punks. It elevates your game to where you have to basically, step up to that level. And especially when people are in the ring with me as well, you got to step up to my level.
I'll tell you, one of the guys who I like that you were having some matches with a while ago was Daniel Bryan. You were his pro on NXT, of course, and some fans were saying that you had no business being his pro because he had more time in wrestling than you did. What are your thoughts on that?
I loved it. I loved every single second of it, because I don't care how much time you've had in the ring, but once you get to the WWE, that's when you've made it to the Mecca. That's when you made it to the big leagues. And I was there for, I believe, at the time, maybe 4 or 5 years, and Daniel Bryan just came in to the WWE. And so when you're in the WWE for your first year, you're a rookie.
How did he take it? Was he pretty cool with you, or was he like, oh, man?
I think Daniel looked at the opportunity like it was. He came from an independent background where he was widely known as like one of the best that's ever happened in wrestling, period. And so to come into the WWE as a rookie, he kind of, I would imagine he would be laughing at it,
Yeah. So, I mean, he sounds like he was a humble guy coming in. That's the way I guess you need to come in till you learn to be a WWE superstar, correct?
Exactly.
Got it.
You couldn't be more correct.
All right. Well, listen, Miz, I appreciate you hanging out. One more before you go. About a year ago, you got thrown in a tub of slime by the Big Show, Kids' Choice Awards. It's been my dream my whole life to get slimed. I wonder, what was it like? What was in that slime? Do you even know? Did they tell you ahead of time?
It was awesome. I mean, anytime, I grew up watching, like, You Can't Do This on television, where you got slimed all the time. So as a kid, you always wanted to get slimed. And not only did I get slimed, I got thrown in a huge tub, and it basically just feels like a big tub of Jell-O. And it's great, though. It was awesome. It was amazing. I took so many pictures, and it was incredible.
I'm sure it was. All right, The Miz, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate you. We always look forward to hearing from you. Marine 3 Homefront, any other last parting words?
I love it. The Marine 3 Homefront is actually going to be on DVD and Blu-ray, so definitely get it tomorrow at any Best Buy, Target, Walmart, wherever you get your DVDs and Blu-rays. Definitely get it, because I'm definitely ready for it, because this movie, I'm very proud of it, and I believe people will be very happy with their purchase.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the role in this you're talking about, so definitely pick that up tomorrow, and as soon as you can, it's going to be a great movie. Miz, thank you for visiting with me, Bryan Soscia, and just everybody listening. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, brother. See you.
Have a good one.